Hi, I'm Beth with TB Properties Buys Land, and this is the second in a series of 3 videos in which we detail the process of how we purchase land from land sellers like yourself. In the first video, we talked about the first step of the process, which is really you getting in touch with us. Whether you did a Google search and found us online, or whether you got a letter in the mail with an offer to buy your rural vacant land, getting in touch with us and finding out what some of the questions we're going to ask you to learn about what it is that you expect from the transaction is the first step of the process, and then agreeing upon a price to move forward. The second step, which we're going to detail today, is that purchase and sale agreement that we're going to send out to you to review and to sign. Once both parties, you, the land seller, and we, the land buyers, sign that agreement, that goes off to the title company for closing. And that will be the third video in this series. So the second step is the purchase and sale agreement. Once we agree on a price, we're going to send you one-page purchase agreement. If you've ever bought or sold a house and worked with a realtor, your purchase and sale agreement that you got from them was probably pretty lengthy. We've seen some 12 pages, some that are 17, 18 pages long, and they're kind of complicated. You almost feel like you have to have a real estate attorney in order to understand it. Now you're welcome, when working with us, you're always welcome to hire a real estate attorney or somebody who's got experience in these matters to review the agreement or to ask help from. But we try to make it simple enough and short enough that you don't have to do that. So I thought I would walk through this step of the process and how this works. This simple page, as you can see, it's one page right here. There's a date on there, and then we call out who the land buyers are and the land sellers. So whoever is on that deed is going to have to sign this agreement. So if you've got brothers and sisters on this, we're going to have everyone's name on there who's going to sign. We're going to have your address as well, and at the bottom we'll end up having your phone number and your email address if you've got email. If you are married and maybe your spouse is not on the deed, we're going to have your spouse on this purchase agreement as well. That's going to be important to have. We call out the state in which this property is located and the county, and then we have the property description, and the title company is going to require that we have the legal description on here, which we have that information. We'll put the legal description on there. We like to put the parcel number or the APN as well. That way it's just easy to have all that information in one place. The next heading here is price. We're going to have the price that we agreed upon in US dollars written out here. And then we're going to say for payment that the buyer, which is us, will be a cash buyer. Now this is important to you because it means that we're going to be able to close on this transaction a lot faster. If the person who's buying the land from you has to go and get a conventional loan or some sort of funding, that can drag the process out a lot longer. We're seeing, especially in these days of COVID, we're seeing 60 and longer days in order to get an appraiser out there and get funding from the banks. Okay, so we're able to close as fast as 2 weeks in some cases, because in most cases, in some cases it's slower depending on the area, but we're able to close quickly because we have cash. Title and conveyance, I'll read this out. Seller will transfer marketable title to the property by warranty deed. Seller will clear all liens and encumbrances from title. You don't have to worry about the warranty deed. Title will take care of that. We're just calling out the type of deed that we want from the title company. Now, liens and encumbrances. If you have a mortgage against your property, or if someone's taken a lien out against your property, we're not paying for that. We're paying for the property. So we're covering ourselves by simply saying if there are liens, you are going to pay those. Okay, that's what that means. Now, this next heading is called closing, and this is important for you to always pay attention to. The buyer, which would be us, will pay for escrow fees, all escrow fees, title insurance, transfer taxes, prorated property taxes, and recording fees for the property. Okay, that's just about everything. B, the seller, which would be you, will pay for any liens against the property. We already said that in the heading before that, but that's the only thing, as you can see, that is covered in the closing costs. So the price that we're paying you is the price that you're going to walk home with, and that's what you want to. This would be the fine print if we had fine print. And C, last, under closing, this transaction will be closed by a reputable title company, and we'll call out the title company in that note. Okay, the next heading is closing date. and we put a date on there. If it's cash, if there's no title issues, I try to be aggressive and put a 2 to 3 week closing date on there, depending on where we're located, okay? Disclosure, this one is pretty simple. Each party represents itself. Is what we call out. Assignment contract, this may be a little confusing, but we reserve the right to assign this contract to somebody else. It doesn't mean that any money is being siphoned away. It doesn't mean you're going to get any less money from the transaction. And we've never done this before, but we do reserve the right to assign this contract, let somebody else buy the property from you instead of us, okay? Binding agreement, it's binding on all involved, the buyer and the seller, and then we have a deadline for acceptance. If we send this to you today, this purchase agreement, you say, yes, I'm ready to sell my property, and we send this to you, we're going to give you 2 to 3 days to sign the agreement and get it back to us. Some of the reasons for that are that, you know, if we put an aggressive closing date on here and you take a week to sign it, well, now we've lost a week of closing and the title company can't do that. If you need more time for your real estate attorney or somebody to look over the agreement, no problem. We can always send you a new purchase agreement and pull those dates out a little bit farther, okay? And then at the end, we've got everyone's name, we've got your email and your phone number, and that goes to title. So this is step 2 of the process. You know, step 1 is getting in touch with us, agreeing on a price. Step 2 is getting the purchase agreement, and stay tuned for the next video in which we talk about step 3, where this goes to the title company. If you have any further questions, if you need more detail, please feel free to reach out to us, give us a call, shoot us an email, or find us online on our website and reach out to us there. I hope this makes sense, and we look forward to working with you should you choose to sell your rural vacant land through TB Properties Buys Land. Thank you.